Oh, I feel like I might have it set back further. Oh well. This is volume 16 of Narratives in Focus. I have Holly right here. I was gonna let you say your name for a second, but
Howdy.
and we are at the Culver Steps, Baldwin Hills Scenic Overlook. What do you call it? Some people call it different things.
Culver City Stairs, Baldwin Hills Scenic Overlook.
Yeah.
My sanctuary.
This is the overlook right here, in case you didn't notice. But yeah, she's about to give me a tour of my city, which is nice.
Yeah, as a Texas local.
But yeah, so tell us. Well, thank you for being here, and thank you for. I gotta tell you. Tell me how much it was.
I will let you know.
Tell me who you are, where you're from, what's your narrative.
Howdy, I'm Holly. You know that. I'm from Fort Worth, Texas, but I've been in LA for the last 5 years. Yeah, I work in the camera department for union shows currently, but I'm a cinematographer and a photographer. And yeah, really passionate about connecting people and how people communicate with one another.
Yeah, that's good. We actually met, I don't usually explain how we met, but we met through our study abroad program last summer in Georgia and Armenia, which is really cool. That was your last class ever, right?
Yeah, it was.
How was that, like, as like a send-off, I guess?
It was a great send-off in the way that it was jam-packed. It was a month long studying human rights, and it felt like it was, would you say 6 months all in one?
Yeah.
It was great. We learned a lot, but it really was a final course.
It was. What was I gonna say? Yeah, it was like 7 a.m., 7. Well, we'll get into that in a little bit, like that experience. But so you said film, and you studied film and television production at USC?
Yes.
At what point in your life did you know that like film was your calling, and what drew you to storytelling?
I feel like I get this question a lot, and it really just started with like, I think my dad had given me one of those iPods, like just a regular like music iPod, not like a fancy iPod Touch or anything, that had a camera on it. And instead of listening to music, I always would just open the camera app and film things there. And like over time, I just, you know, as technology became more accessible to me, I think I just started running with it more and more and finding apps that kind of allowed me to explore different creative outlets that way. And eventually I was on YouTube making silly little videos, making silly little music videos, painted my wall green just so I could have a green screen. Lived with that for many years. And yeah, it like got to the point in high school where it's like, okay, am I gonna go study photography or am I gonna go study film? And I felt pretty good about what I had learned about photography. I knew it was gonna be more beneficial to go and get a little more hands-on with like film equipment. Yeah. And I knew I wanted to be in LA from the time I was a child. And yeah, I did some research during COVID. USC was the #1 film school, and I was like, all right, I'm going there.
Yeah, she did it.
And
yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
What's the, I feel like, well, actually, I just looked inside here.
Yeah.
There's a fly.
No.
There's a fly.
It probably just got there.
Yeah, I think so. It's okay. It was really good, yo.
I mean,
was it nothing but coffee?
Nothing but coffee in K-Town. You could still drink it. Just drink around the fly or scoop it out.
I might. I'll do that in a little bit.
It's nature.
Have you? Never mind.
Go ahead.
What's the craziest thing you've eaten? Now that I'm.
Oh. It's got to be some raw fish in Japan, but I don't know like what is the craziest thing. Let me come back to that because I don't know. I got to think on it.
For me, I've had rattlesnake before.
Okay. See, that seems not crazy to me at all. From Texas.
Is that a Texas thing?
I'm like, yeah, that's pretty normal.
For me, that's crazy.
Maybe like alligator?
Snails. I mean, snail's not crazy.
I've never even had an oyster.
See, that's not crazy, but like, a lot of people haven't had it, but a lot of people, never mind. Yeah, a lot of people do eat it. It's good.
I don't know.
Yeah, put like ponzu sauce and lime on it, stuff.
You guys can keep that. I'll let y'all have it. Also, am I supposed to be talking to the camera or you?
No, talk to me.
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
The camera
I was like, I keep looking over here.
I mean, I do both. Like, I'll Was it break the fourth wall, fifth
Yeah.
wall, third?
The fourth wall, yeah.
Okay. Well, no, I was gonna ask, because you were choosing between a photography and a film.
Yeah.
What are the differences? I mean, I feel like there's obviously differences, but
Yeah.
what are the differences and overlap in those degrees, if any?
For sure. I mean, the biggest overlap is obviously the camera and telling a story visually. But in photography, you have one moment and capturing, I mean, you can capture it in a million different ways, just in terms of if you want blur, if you don't, like where the person's framed and not. And those are things that you think about in the moving image, but you can get away with a little bit more sometimes. I think in a still frame in photography, you do have to be really intentional, but also sometimes you're seeking out a moment and hoping that you can capture it because it's a one-time event. Like photojournalism, for example. I'm trying to think of like a good example, but like, okay, there's this famous photo of us. What is that photo called? There's so many like iconic photos in history that like if a photographer wasn't there capturing that moment, like it would be lost forever.
Yeah.
And that's true for documentary too, but it's more impressive when you can get the still emotional moment, I guess.
And that's interesting.
It was just kind of long, but anyway, for film, obviously the crossover that's similar is that visual element, but then you're also thinking about sound and you're directing people to act and you're thinking about lighting. Like you're almost, I would argue a lot of the times in film, you're curating a moment rather than going to find it. Now documentary gets a little more similar to photography. But in my personal experience, that's
interesting.
the basics, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense, but I've never thought of it like that, or I've never had it laid out to me like that, but that's cool.
Yeah.
Fuck, what was I gonna say? Damn.
No, you're chill.
I was gonna say something about that. Well, yeah, you spoke about documentaries. You went to Guatemala
Yes.
this summer. Well, you were all over the place this summer.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. For a documentary, what were you filming there, and how was that experience?
Yeah. So I had never been to Guatemala before, but I got a call from a friend who works closely with this nonprofit called Send a Miracle. And basically she wanted to go and document some of the stories of families that have been affected by, I would say, financial hardship mostly in Guatemala, and kind of highlight not only, the struggles that are happening, especially within the government there and within the people, but more shine a light on how positive and optimistic and hopeful people can be in the midst of hardship and tragedy. And so even though I don't speak fluent Spanish, I speak very little Spanish.
Yeah.
Hearing people talk or even watching them and hearing a tone of voice, like between a language barrier, like you can still feel the emotional aspects of it. And I had my friend Aileen, our director, translating everything to us a bit later, but you just feel how much people loved each other. And I think that was a surreal experience, especially coming off of another trip to Georgia and Armenia, where it was like,
For sure.
you
Remember
do
when we
feel
met
that too, yeah.
We met that one woman in the lobby in the lobby in Armenia.
Yes.
And did that documentary ever come out?
The one that
Remember
I
they were
was working
filming
on? Or, yeah.
Not that one. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know if that documentary ever came out. I gotta reach out to them.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I just, going to Guatemala was really cool. It was so random, and it actually, the people I met on that came from another project that was a project that I felt the most disappointed in last year. It was a narrative film that didn't really pan out the way I had hoped. But it was not only a testament to like doing hard things and like how hard things can lead you to, some of the best experiences of your life.
Yeah.
But also like meeting people from another place and like really feeling how lucky I am to be born here.
Yeah.
But then also like in the weight, sorry to get political for a second, but like with the weight of everything going on, especially like as everything with ICE was really picking up when I was in Guatemala last year, hearing how inhumane people are trained to be, and coming off of like Georgia and Armenia and seeing how a government can really strip humanity away from people and almost turn them into like this robotic force that doesn't really care about the people. Like, it really just, it made me grateful to be born here. It made me frustrated that people aren't understanding and willing to like open arms and help people that need it. And it really, you know, made me angry about everything that I used to do, but mostly human and like, I don't know. I know this is like a ramble, but
no, that makes sense.
Yeah.
When I was in I'm gonna get into our program next, but during our program, like my eyes were really being open because I didn't really know too much about those countries at all.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't know too much about American politics, where like I followed things closely. But when I was learning about how the government is in Georgia and Armenia, I was like, damn, this is similar to what's happening in America or like what's trying to be implemented. So it's, it's a little scary.
But it's interesting because nobody's looking at America going like, that's just like Georgia.
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know?
Exactly. Because they don't really pay too much attention to those regions.
Well, even then, it's like it's such a large scale that people are like, yeah, but you still have this. You still have great income. You know, you still have freedom. Like, it's funny how that.
Yeah. But okay, so as a film and television production major, what made you want to join a study abroad program that was focused on human rights? I think everyone in the program was in the international relations space, and then it was you.
Yeah, I was the odd one out. I'm not gonna lie, some imposter syndrome for sure. Some political policies would be talked about, and I'm like, admittedly, I don't know anything.
Not gonna lie, I was low-key in the same boat as you for a little bit. Like, I was, Well, sorry to cut you off,
go.
A few weeks ago, I went with Swordlow to like go. I guess I don't know why he asked me, but he wanted me to give advice on the program. And I went, and they were throwing around terms that I haven't heard since we were at that program. And I was like, damn, I got to get my vocab back up, or like just like remember like a lot of the things that we were talking about. Cause our program was like very dense on like the subject matter. It wasn't like what do you remember what they were saying they were doing in Japan, like on their program?
Yeah, they were doing like Buddhist Zen, like which is awesome and also culturally very relevant.
True.
But we were like, it's very sad, but it is like, it was very like, my sister has been taken by different, it was bad.
Yeah, but okay, go ahead, sorry.
No, all good. What was the question?
No, you're good. I was saying, what made you want to join a study abroad program that focused on human rights and torture as a film and television production major? Yeah.
Okay, so originally I had applied to 2 study abroad programs for Maymesters. I had studied abroad before in New Zealand, but I knew I wanted to go again if possible. And I forgot what the original one was that I applied for. It must have been some like narrative. I think it was like fictional or narrative.
Was it in Europe? Because I think I saw that.
Yeah,
maybe like Denmark.
It was like fairy tales in Europe or something. And I thought, oh, this is the most applicable to my major. Like, that's super interesting. But I was like, I don't think I'm going to get into that. I just had this weird gut feeling. And I was sitting on my couch with my roommate. And I was like, all right, if I'm going to apply to another one, which one should I apply for? And she's like, let's both apply to Georgia and Armenia. And I said, okay. And honestly, at the time, like I didn't know anything about it. I was interested in Armenia. I had a lot of Armenians in a documentary class I was taking that semester. And I know that, you know, LA is the second largest population of Armenians out there in the world. And there is a lot of really relevant culture here to Armenia. So I was like, okay, I'm fascinated by that. I know nothing about Georgia, just honestly. So I was like, okay, and usually it's something like that where I'm like, okay, like I'm influenced by this, sure, like why not?
Yeah.
That usually leads to the greatest stories for me.
For sure.
And the most eye-opening events. So that's why I applied originally. But as time went on, you know, I actually didn't get into the program. I got waitlisted. And it was 2 days before the ad drop deadline that I got the official, okay, you're in, which meant I had to scramble and decide, am I gonna go on this trip 2 days after graduation when I'm already doing everything else. But I decided to go, and I decided to go because at the end of the day, kind of like what I was saying earlier, like I am very lucky to be where I'm from and to be here, but I don't think that life is worth, like, it's great to be lucky and it's great to have all these things, but like if you don't know the worth of it, and also if you don't meet people along the way and like exchange stories, and like that's the vague version of it, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like for me, I mean, one, it coincided with my coursework and it helped me graduate early.
Yeah.
Which, fuck.
Congratulations! Graduation is like 2 weeks. Wait, 1 week.
It's on Thursday, yeah. But part of it was like also, you know, like I like to travel, but I genuinely do like doing things that are not as common. So for me, I was like, especially as a Black person, like not many Black people are gonna go to Georgia and Armenia, or not many people in general. So I was like, oh, that's definitely a place I want to go, because when am I ever gonna get a chance to do that again?
Yeah, that's a big part of it.
Yeah,
when am I ever gonna go there?
Yeah, like I could see cultures and things that I would never see. Like I don't know if I'll ever have a chance to go to a post-Soviet country again.
Yeah, right.
So, and also like that was the most culturally immersive experience I think I've ever had. Like we went. Yeah, it was insane. I think the most immersive part for me was when we went to that. It was in Georgia, the village with like the little school, and then like they had that. Oh, man. They had that dinner for us at the table. Remember, we walked down the road, and then they kept bringing out food nonstop.
Yes. Oh my gosh,
But they were like the most like welcoming family I've maybe ever been in contact with. Also in Japan, it was a very welcome. But still, like, yeah, it was amazing. But those are like experiences I would never get if I didn't say, fuck it, let me go to this place. So
right. And like I will say, although it was intense, having somebody take the initiative to jam pack that time, it was exhausting. You know, you spend every waking moment with the same people, and you're learning with the same people, and you're dealing with emotionally like very intense things, but having somebody who has taken the time to schedule that out, like I am very grateful for that, because I don't know if I would have been able to get in contact with all the people we did otherwise.
Oh yeah, I don't know how you did that. We literally had like 3 meetings a day, 7 a.m., 7 p.m.
Yeah, we did.
But I did love how it was like never in a classroom.
Yeah.
It was always out and about. Even though we got followed by some random person. Was that? Oh yeah, that was Georgia.
I do have footage of that guy.
You do?
Yeah, I do. He's just standing there looking over our class.
Yeah.
I can send it to you.
Yeah, send it to me. Or, but okay, so throughout the program, did you like try to look at it through your lens as a film student? Well, I know like before you started the program, did you talk to him about your final project being that documentary? So you were like, oh, like I want to capture this, or did you go into it just with the open mind, like let me, just as a student?
Yeah, I think I knew I wanted to document the experience. I didn't talk to our professor about making it a documentary until I think halfway through. I knew that whatever I wrote public policy wise, that was our final, whatever public
like
policy,
not public policy, but yeah, like something like that.
Whatever the final was, I knew that I was either going to not rush it and BS it because I didn't care, but because I knew that I was gonna be able to make something better if I ran with footage and crafted a story. And yes, it's taken me a while to figure out how to tell that narrative, because I'm not Armenian, I'm not Georgian. There's a couple people in our program that were, but having access to those people right now, it's been difficult because I've been out of town.
Yeah. It takes time.
Yeah, it takes time, and not to mention like the editing time takes forever, and to figure out how to place everything, and it's a very important story to me. I don't want to rush it. I don't want to just throw it together. It's an important story to people that actually are impacted by it every day.
Yeah.
And what, honestly, the line for me teeters of like, I am some random white girl American that like showed up in this country and is like, I'm going to tell a story about it. No, I'm not like trying to have that savior complex at all. So it is very difficult to tell the story. But I knew and I know that when everything comes into place and falls into place that way, like it is actively being worked on. And when it comes together, I know that whatever gets put out will be more impactful than what written word of the final would have been from me, to be honest.
I feel like that's half the battle, and like the fact that you're aware of that and like your place in it. And I feel like that there is a right way to tell the story coming from your point of view or your situation specifically, and you're going about it the right way. And yeah, like that stuff takes time. Like you can't, even if you started the I don't want to get into that, but yeah, like those things take time to tell the story in a certain way, and it is a delicate subject, so you want to tell it the right way, and it's meaningful. Like, but I'm excited. Like I'm gonna sit down with my popcorn and watch it whenever it comes out.
Thanks.
But yeah, so I'm excited for that. And the other one, if it ever came out, the other.
Yeah, I have her business card, so I should reach out.
I took a photo of it and I lost it somewhere.
Yeah, it's somewhere in the abyss of the camera roll.
But yeah, so
Starbucks.
What do you think you took away from our experience in that program that like you could have only learned by physically being in those countries?
Okay, good question. It's just obviously there's a lot that I could say there. I think what immediately comes to mind is just the direct impact of the Soviet Union. I mean, little things like how fast those escalators go down into a very uniform train or metro station.
That's the stuff I see on YouTube videos when I'm like seeing Soviet times back in the day. I'm like, damn, now I'm on those escalators going down, 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 down.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So that's like a little simple of an answer. But I think being there and hearing that there are some people... we went to a museum while we were... I don't know if I should say this or not. We went to the Stalin Museum while we were in... It was in Gori, not Gumri. And we went just to, see what the perspective was, obviously, of the town of Gori, because I think that is like a drawing
That's
point.
where Stalin's from.
Yeah. So. And, inherently would have never thought there were people rooting for him. But there are people who see him as a small town icon, which is concerning to me. But at the same time, like, you learn that is what the culture is to grow and to, like, want to grow into a powerful position. And that was fascinating. I wouldn't have learned that being here. Or, like, thinking about, there's a lot of people, typically older, that do have their, like, things that they loved about the Soviet Union, and still talk about it and still think that those times were simpler. And, that, to me, is fascinating, not from a place of judgment, but from a place of, okay, what things did you love about it, and what time, or, like, what things did you love about it, and, like, what time of your life was that, and why is it so impactful now?
Yeah.
And more of like the human psychology perspective than anything, and try not to like come at it of like, how could you think this, but you've grown up to think this in this bubble that you've been in.
Yeah.
And then it makes you look at your own life, like, what bubble am I in,
That's, and that last part's, I think, the best part about it, to try to look outside our own bubble and be aware that we're in one. But yeah, not to get into like if I agree or not with those things, but I feel like, and I think it is older generation probably because they grew up in that bubble and that was their life.
Yeah.
But it's not just, like, I know there's some, well, I don't know actually. I've heard that it's also like that, or it has been with Mao in China and then Kim Jong-un in North Korea. Like it's, I don't know if it's trained into them or like that's just like the common belief. But yeah, a lot of times like people will associate with certain things that make it positive, and then from our point of view, we're like, how could that be positive? But,
Right.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Well, I mean, even here growing up, like, I don't know if you felt this way, but for me in Texas, you would grow up and you'd be told, like, everybody wants to live in America. America's the best place to be. And you take a step back when you get older and you go, is it the best place? I don't really know.
Yeah, it's so funny because I've always been skeptical of that when I was younger. I'm like, what makes us the best? And obviously, there's so many things we're good at here. And my mom's side of the family is from Texas. It's more prevalent that I'm heard like, oh, this is the best place ever. Than here, but still, like, you hear it here all the time because it's America still. But yeah, I've always been like, it's got to be some things that we're not the best at. Yeah. And there is probably quite a few. Yeah. But
just to name a few. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, so that's but it was very interesting, like walking through there, and it had that small section in the bottom, like back part of the museum that spoke of the
I have footage of that
atrocities.
Too. I don't have footage of anything actually. Yeah. I wasn't supposed to record.
Actually, I'm not even gonna ask that on here.
She would not tell us what
I remember
you did wrong.
before the trip, Swirlo was like, guys, don't be out at this time. Don't record anything because it's very sus in Georgia more so than Armenia. Yeah. And I was like, all right, bet. I'm not doing that shit. I'm not testing it. And then I don't know if we talked about it, but you were like, yeah, I'm gonna get some footage. And I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. You're bold for that.
I really wanted to film the protest. I honestly did not film the protests. But only because at the time, even people that I wasn't that close to were like, Holly, please don't do that. Like,
yeah, I didn't want to see you.
But I'm like, all the great documentarians. I was like, okay, let me just like suss it out for a little bit. And then if I feel like I should return.
Yeah. We were meeting with journalists who were previously locked up for. Yeah. So yeah, like I wasn't trying to see you go through that.
Yeah, I was just trying to get through the border. And I remember that sense of relief because we were all worried that somehow our names and our photos were going to be flagged. But when we got through the Georgia to Armenia border, we were like, okay, no one has a fine. Like, we're okay.
And like, what? Didn't they... Like, it's not common for students to go to these countries and study, especially those things. Like, didn't somewhere in Armenia posted a few months after, like, oh, like, our class was the first class to go there and study that or something. I forget. Yeah. But yeah, it's like it was not. There was eyes on us.
For sure. Spies on us.
Spies, eyes, yeah. But I wouldn't trade that for anything. I don't know if I would do it again, like live it again, because that was a lot. But I'm happy that we did it.
Yeah, I want to go back and read the journals. One thing I'm really grateful for, I don't know if you've gone back at all, but our professor had us write daily journals, and I hand wrote all of mine, which looking back was also a lot.
Yeah, you better than me.
Well, but it's like this sacred, oh my gosh, I forgot how much I learned. So I think it's about time that we revisit.
For sure.
Especially as it's almost been a year since we left.
It has. Yeah, I think we would have left in like, damn, it's a good trip. Yeah. That, the bus rides though, the bus was so small. Yeah. We would always fight for
the single seats. And I would always get one too.
I think I'd get one half the time. Yeah.
You and I would get up, we would run, we'd get coffee, we'd shower, we'd be down, and we'd be out.
Ready to go, literally.
It was awesome.
Okay,
Oh, you can ask when you get over here.
Yeah.
Oh, am I supposed to walk again?
No.
Should we do another walk?
No.
Okay, got a little runway.
Yeah, literally.
I can paint it red if you want a red carpet.
Red? Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? Actually, I don't know any of the Met Gala fits, but did you have one that you liked?
I have not looked.
Okay.
But
I've seen what people have reposted, but that's it.
Okay. I mean, well, actually, I did see like, I saw on some national parks account, they had like compared it to different landscapes. That's cool. So I did think the colors were pretty, but no, I did not actually look. Okay. I'm really fashionable. Well, I am really fashionable today, but usually.
I told her not to, well, I try to suggest people not to wear my clothes because it's their episode, but she wore it, so I appreciate that, even though you
I could have gone all cowgirl, but I just figured I figured I should just wear.
Yeah, well, I appreciate it.
I do wear it all the time, though. It's not.
She wore it in
lie.
Japan. Yeah, that meant a lot, actually. Like, seeing y'all wear that when you travel genuinely touches my heart.
Yeah.
Like, this should mean something.
I get compliments on it all the time. Like, I have dropped your link to people, too.
Damn,
so
I appreciate it.
It's really cool. It's really, really cool.
Thank you.
Conversation starters.
Yeah, it's crazy because, like, I don't wear my clothes enough. And also, when I do, it's funny. I never get compliments on it. but people text me all the time. They're like, every time I wear it, people compliment me.
Yeah.
And then when I wear it, it's like, no one does. But it's funny. But it's amazing to hear that because, like, that's shit that keeps me going, for real.
I mean, that's been true with, like, your stuff. My friend Dan made me this leather pouch. It was, like, the sweetest Christmas gift I've ever gotten, and it's for Set. Handmade, very Western style, because that's just kind of what I'm trying to lean into more as I get older and, like, embrace my hometown and stuff. And, like, every time I wear one of my friends' like pieces of art, it seems like that always gets more conversations going, and I love that. Like, I think the people that I am inspired by are such a piece of me, and that's why, like, you told me to wear whatever, but this truly is, like, a part of me. And, like,
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll never not write coordinates on my postcards.
Let's go. Wait, I got you. She got me into postcards.
Yeah, I did.
But, you know, I added another coordinates to my...
Wait, no.
Because I have 3 coordinates now.
That's a good
Tattoos.
tattoo idea.
Yeah, because I wrote a journal in South Korea, and it was, like, a meaningful one, but that one I put there.
Maybe I should get a coordinates tattoo. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
I've been wanting a new tattoo.
She got me, let's go. She got me into postcards, so we would do, well, no, I did postcards when I was in Spain, but, like, that was a one-time thing. You got me to, like, do it every time I travel now, but we would go, we did it in Armenia and Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we went to post offices in those countries and wrote postcards to people, and mind you, it was, like, so confusing, for me at least, to do it.
Well, in Georgia, they didn't have, this is really dumb, but they didn't have, like, the peelable stamps. It was like you put water on it, but I had never done that. I was like, what?
It was like I don't even know. But that's something I look forward to now. Like, when I was in South Korea, you got yours? Yeah. I sent a few out South Korea. It's like a little adventure to go try to send something out in a different country and learn their postal code.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Yeah, well, thanks for going with me, because it was a little nerve-wracking.
It was.
It took 2 brains to figure out one post office.
I think South Korea's was actually the easiest. Spain was... Georgia and Armenia were the harder ones, for sure.
Yeah. Do you remember that I, like, forgot to put someone's zip code or something, so I had to sprint back before we left that day? That was Armenia.
I do. Well, yeah, okay, so... Last question on that topic of the program. What was your favorite memory of the program? If you have one or 2.
Oh man, we just did so much.
Literally. I forgot shit that we've done.
I have 2 answers, because, like, on one hand, I want to give the aspect of the course and the human rights element of it. And I think having conversations with Lala, right?
Yeah.
Specifically having Lala tell her story, which I don't know how much you want me to talk about it or not.
No, go ahead, like, whatever you want to.
We just heard from some incredible people who have survived some incredible things. I think I am just ultimately what you've probably gathered from this is, like, how fascinated I am by humans who go through hardship but pick their heads up and find good. And there was a specific line that she said, just because, you know, this stuff happened to me, I don't blame necessarily, like, the people. I blame the government for, like, removing humanity. It was something along the lines of that. And she was like, you know, I know that this happened to me here in Armenia, and I know that this is happening to sisters in Azerbaijan too.
Was that after the question I asked?
Yeah, I think so. That was...
Yeah, it was someone we met. That shit had me tear up. that shit had me tear up.
I remember.
Her story is pretty tragic. But to see her still standing, like, just shows the testament of how strong you can be. Yeah. And I asked her a question I asked her basically, when you've gone through that much because of a country, how can you not hate that country or that person? And she answered along the lines of like, there's people on the other side who are going through the same thing. And I feel like that's the most beautiful response I could have imagined, because you almost got to be superhuman to like go above those levels, and like when you have that much pain, to realize that you're not the only one, and it sucks, but two wrongs don't make a right, basically.
Yeah.
You can't. Yeah. So.
And she even said, you know, that she had like for a while she had been angry, and she had, I think she had said or done some things that she wasn't proud of, but like to eventually come to and be like, you know what?
Yeah.
This isn't how we're supposed to be. Like that, as somebody who has needed hope in my life, especially over the last year, that has really resonated with me.
For sure.
So human rights wise, that would be my favorite memory. Hard memory, but favorite.
I agree, for sure. I actually reached out to Steve because I was like, this was before I even made that one. I was like, I want to make something that like portrays her story. So I was like trying to get in contact with her and see if I can make something that tells her story. It never amounted to anything, but like, yeah, that I don't think I've ever had a story touch me as much as that one.
Yeah. At
least like a personal story. But yeah. What about the other one? The other. A lighter note, yeah.
Yeah, on a lighter note, a lot of us would go to dinner kind of frequently, and, you know, just when we did have free time, get up to whatever we wanted to get up to.
Yeah.
Which wasn't like that crazy because we had class at 7 a.m.
Literally.
Or at least for me, it wasn't that crazy. But I think, yeah, like being in a foreign country and just like exploring at night, there's something like very freeing about, okay, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm kind of scared, but also this is awesome.
Yeah.
Specifically, I think that I had a lot of fun at the Yerevan Wine Festival.
That was fun.
That was really fun just because it's like, it's near the end. We're like all nostalgic of what's happened. We're like, wow, that was only a month. Like we grew really close. We all were excited for a little bit of a break.
For sure.
But you know, that was really cool. And like also like we had this girl, Mane, who she's from Yerevan and she loves it.
Yeah.
And honestly, like seeing her lit up about being where she's from and like excited to share, it felt so special to be a part of that.
The hospitality between the Armenians on our trip was, it was crazy.
Yeah.
They were amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
I'm so grateful that like to have crossed paths.
Yeah. My wine glass from that trip, like whatever the design was, like it faded away because I put it in the washer on accident.
I remember I still have mine.
Yeah. I still have mine, but it's like half the wording's gone.
Guess we're all gonna have to go back to the Yerevan wine days. I would. I love Yerevan.
Yeah, and I would definitely go back.
It'd be weird to go back now, because it's such a. I feel like where I was a year ago, like I had just graduated. It'd be such a time capsule too. Like the way that like specific songs from past lives, you know, will make you feel. Like I think that's how I would feel.
For sure. Yeah. For me, I actually wrote an article in my class last year, well, in the fall semester, about traveling and like what I take away from when I travel. And I opened the article with like a travel story, but it became like, to me, like this is my favorite travel story ever now.
Yeah.
We were in Mestia.
Oh yeah.
It was after dinner. Apparently Leonardo DiCaprio went to that restaurant, right?
Yeah.
But it was after dinner and we were playing on the playground.
Yeah.
It was night and it was starting to rain. It was starting to rain and then there was thunderstorms and we were like walking home from the restaurant and it's like just one main street.
Yeah.
So we were just walking home for like 5 minutes. But there was thunderstorms and then like we're walking and I look up and there's literally like horses running like straight at us, like full speed. There's horses running straight at us full speed. And mind you, this town is like, I think there's like 10,000 people living in it. So it's not big. Like there's animals that could walk around freely. Like it's one street. So there's no horses on a leash really. I mean, not leash, but you know what I mean. But yeah, it was running at a full speed and I didn't really have time to think. I was like, holy shit, it's not stopping. So I forget how I got out the way, but
I think we all just
yeah.
ran. We're like,
we all just ran like separate ways to get out the way because it was running straight through us. But that was an interesting way to learn that like horses are scared of like thunder and lightning. So
yeah, I remember that. I just hadn't thought about it in a while.
But that was for sure like one of my favorite moments. That's like just I wouldn't learn that here in LA at all. That's just I learned that there that way.
Yeah, people don't horse around like that.
She had.
I've been.
There's
really
no way
tame.
we could get through one of these episodes without you saying that. So yeah.
Yeah.
We went 30 something minutes. That's
I was
good
trying
enough.
to like keep it stable.
I forgot to put the timer on. Oh well. Yeah, it was a 10 out of 10 trip for sure.
Definitely.
Okay, so if you could film anything in the world, what would it be and why?
Oh man. Wow. That's like there's a lot you could film in the world. That's such a big question. Well, I know that I'm happiest when I'm documenting nature or like being with my friends in nature. So there's that. I wish this is kind of like I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I haven't quite put my finger on it yet. I wish I could document the feeling of being abroad more detailed than actually just telling the story. And like, I wish I could film a feeling, if that makes sense. And you kind of can create that and evoke that, but I can tell you what I learned on this Armenia, Georgia trip, but I can't give you that feeling until you do it. I can tell you how New Zealand, when I studied abroad, changed my life, but I can't film that feeling because you didn't go through the mental aspects. And it's like, even if I were to sit here and tell you, even if I were to like document every moment, the inner workings of a mind are so fascinating. I wish I could film the inner workings of someone's mind.
Yeah, that's powerful, damn.
But all that being said, like if what I could actually film, I mean, it is cool to go and film different cultures, but it is like a weird placement of like, am I the one who should be telling this story or not?
Yeah.
But it is a cool way for me to learn.
For sure.
But yeah, there's always the fear of like, I may not be the right one to do this.
Yeah, that's actually so interesting because when you said that filming, you said filming your experience abroad?
Yeah.
Or, in a way, I feel like I kind of just did that. I don't know if I released a video that was just me. Like, all my videos are interviewing other people, but when I went to South Korea, I put the camera on me and basically just like showed me before I got there at the airport, me at the end when I was leaving.
Yeah.
Put the camera on a few times during the trip when I was like, I've done this is what I'm doing, this is how I feel, blah, blah, blah. And that's not at all showing like, I mean, in a way that kind of shows my experience.
Yeah.
If I could have definitely shown more, but I feel like that's a way that I try to go about it because I did want to like show my experience and not at all trying to be like, this is the experience that you will have, but like, this is the experience I had.
Right.
And I'm not trying to tell their story. I'm trying to tell my story interacting with their culture.
Yeah.
That's the way I did it, but I feel like, yeah, you should do it.
I think
for sure.
It's hard because there's a lot of pressure on yourself. You know, there's the question of like, who are you making the art for?
Yeah.
That's something that you have to think about all the time. And it's hard. It was great to go to film school. It's really hard to create freely after film school and not to be so critical of like, oh, this isn't the exact 3-act structure. This isn't, you know, like they kind of don't encourage slice of life films, but that's kind of what I always was passionate about before. And I think I look back on videos I made when I was younger, and for me, it's a time capsule, which can be very valuable and very special. And honestly, in the depths of like sadness for me, it can take me back to a youthful, more hopeful version of myself. And so it's been essential for my journey. And that's just how I've grown up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it's the question of like, am I allowed to do that? Am I putting myself out there in a weird space? Should I keep it for myself? Is it helpful for other people? And then I say that kind of laughing at myself because there are so many videos I watch where people go on these journeys and like, I mean, even like narratives, like this is a silly comp, but The Secret Life of Walter Mitty has been my favorite movie since I was maybe 11 or, 7th grade, whatever, however old I was. And that is because I watched this person go on a journey and that changed my life. And then there's YouTubers who I watched, like Natalie Lynn, might be Hey X Natalie still, for example, who captures her journey and tells it in such an emotional way that it is very cinematic. And that drove me to go on these journeys to begin with. So even, it is like a ramble, what I'm saying, but like,
no, it's real.
I feel like other people's art has inspired me to be where I am now, so it's ironic that I get in my head about maybe putting mine out there.
Yeah.
And there's no con of doing it. So I don't know why. It's just the creative struggle, if you will.
I would say, and again, who am I to tell you how to film something? But
you're creative.
When you ask, like, am I allowed to tell? I feel like that's a valid question for sure. And I would ask that question if I'm trying to tell someone's story. But like when I do this, like I'm not trying to tell your story. I'm trying to have you tell your story, and I'm trying to create the platform where you could do that.
Yeah.
So I feel like when you set the perspective that way, it's like you're not telling their story. You're giving. I mean, the way you edit it can do that. And the way you like change things tells their story. But like for me, like when I was out there, like I wasn't trying to tell South Korea's story. I was trying to tell my experience with South Korea.
Right.
Here, I'm trying to let you tell your story. Or like same with that. Like, but I feel like when I do it that way, I don't have to worry about, or at least not as much. Am I allowed to? Because I feel like I'm creating a platform where they can do that. But that probably goes against a lot of things when you're trying to document something like a full story. But yeah.
It's just difficult to find like where your place as an artist is to insert yourself. But at the end of the day, like the art that you're making is still inherently you. Yeah. Whether or not you're doing it, like you're choosing which parts of the story are getting put in.
Mm-hmm. And that is where you're telling the story for sure.
Exactly. So it's like it's a weird, like you take on this responsibility, weight of the world type, get in your head too much type. But like I'm learning how to go through that. But that is my current narrative, if you will.
Would you say school teaches you how to do that or no?
I think USC for film production was incredible in the way that it taught you what is expected to make it big in entertainment.
And that's interesting. And I'm not surprised, but
But certain professors would give you the ability to take risks and you would be able to experiment. And I think that I have always looked back and valued those moments so much more. Yeah. Although I am grateful for knowing how to actually create something to the best of my ability now. It's a weird line.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. Like those you'd want them to allow you to experiment creating freely, which is good. So
yeah.
Did I ever tell you the first job I ever wanted was? I think I did. Did I?
Wait, no.
The first job I ever wanted as a kid was to be like a videographer for National Geographic.
Wait, okay, maybe.
Yeah, that's why when I went to South Korea, I bought a lot. Like I don't think it's in my car, but I bought a backpack, a hiking bag from there, because you can't buy shit from there and ship it to America. Like you can only buy it in South Korea and Malaysia for some reason. Like they have stores there.
Oh.
So I went on a shopping spree when I went out there to go buy some
merch.
Awesome. But like I've always been fascinated by documents and well, for me it was nature because of National Geographic. But now as I've grown, it's also been people's stories.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love the idea of just creating it in a visual way. Yeah, that's dope.
Well, that's cool. I think it's... So, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Can I flip it?
Go ahead.
I think that you're doing some of that now. And I mean, obviously we met before you started For Narratives, or at least before I knew that it was coming. And So I think in some ways you're still creating art and you're still focusing on human stories, but whatever discouraged you from being a videographer for National Geographic? Why'd you walk away?
I was just talking to some people at work for like, not an hour, 30 minutes yesterday about like where to put my energy. Mm-hmm. And I'm big on like taking risks and doing what you want to do and what's fulfilling. And this was, like I said, an idea that I had since I could remember. Like my dad would have me watching National Geographic documentaries when I was a kid. So it was just something that was instilled in me that like, well, not instilled in me, but like I was watching, I was like, oh, I love this. I love watching these. I love learning about this. I think that's what got me to want to travel, because I was like, oh, there's so much to see and there's so much more than LA. But I think I was so young when that started, that idea, and I wasn't old enough to, not I wasn't old enough, but like if I had that realization later on in life, I would have probably been able to fight. I don't know if it's want to say, for me, I had doubts where I was like, is this gonna work? Is this what I should do? Most people don't really do this. Most people I know, at least. Should not just go to school for a business degree or go do this and this instead that will for sure make more money, blah, blah, blah. So I was all in my head about that, and I didn't follow, I guess, what I wanted to do as a kid with like that youthful pure energy. And I try to go back to that now with a lot of things I do and follow that energy. But I think back then, I didn't follow it, and that's one of the few things I regret about what I've done in life, or like what I haven't done. But
there's still time.
There is, for sure.
What, 22, 23? I don't know.
22.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that's a tough question to answer, but I'm glad you asked it, because I've never said it verbally. I've just always had that idea in my head.
Yeah.
Like, what if? And again, I'm still young enough to do it, but I do wish I sometimes did, because I mean, at least I still do it now in my free time, but it's something that I just think I'd enjoy for sure.
Yeah. Wait, that's okay. So I'm gonna wait for this arc, and I'm gonna be there, supportive.
You gotta help me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ask for help, because if there's anybody to learn from, I'm assuming you're at the top, at least for people I know.
I'm honored, although, you know, like I've had a lot of great things have panned out in my life. I'm very lucky. I think a lot of things have come from people, and wanting to learn and wanting to work hard. That is true. But at the same time, a big part of that is like just being at the right place at the right time. I still have a lot to learn. Like, I'm humble enough to know that, you know?
Yeah. For sure.
And I can't wait to learn it. But there is a part of you that has to just be like, okay, maybe I don't know everything, but I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. But like, I gotta try. So
trying and failing is how you learn. At least for me, a lot of the time.
Yeah, me too. Emphasis on the failing. Literally, like. But yeah.
Yeah, failure is a lesson. Yeah, now I'm gonna go home and think about that and be like, because I haven't asked myself that question in a while. But
as post-graduation approaches very quickly.
I know.
What are your plans post-grad, actually?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. But you don't have to answer if you don't want to on the video, but I am curious.
I got an internship with Universal Music.
Okay, sweet.
A&R administration at Capitol Records and Interscope.
Hey,
Records,
that's right over.
It's in Hollywood, yeah.
Yeah, Hollywood's there. It literally is.
Can you see the building from here?
I'm sure you can. I think it's a little bit more that way because it's kind of it's closer to Studio City.
It has a little spike on it. They just remodeled it.
They just remodeled it?
Yeah.
I know it's that way from Hollywood.
Might be hidden by a bigger building. But there's that, and then I got accepted into grad school at LMU for my master's in entrepreneurship and sustainable innovation. So, as of now, I'm doing that.
Nice. So you're living at the right spot. You don't have to put that in there, but that's perfect. That's exciting. Are you ready to start grad school?
That's another question.
Hey, as somebody who's like almost a year officially of being in post-grad, I'm so intrigued to
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, come to the post-grad life, but also good luck.
Yeah.
But also you've got this, you know, great things will happen.
Yeah. So me, it's kind of a follow-up on what I just said. It's like,
Yeah.
where should I put my energy? I feel like I have this. I'm not gonna get into it, but I'm building a software company with my friend on the side right now.
Okay.
I have that school for grad school. I have this internship. What if I get a return offer? Like, so I'm trying to see where to put my energy. I don't know how to feel about it.
But the really great thing about that is that you have all these things that you're passionate about and that you're motivated by, and like all I can do, not that you're asking for advice at all, is just like encourage you to hold on to them, because I think, you know, like this last year's been really interesting, and there has been a time where I've lost a lot of motivation, which is not typically normal for me. It just sometimes in life it happens, and I think if you can just hold on to what fulfills you the most in that moment, and you don't always have to think long term, like think near term, I guess, short term, but follow your heart, obviously. And so many people don't have things that light them up, so it's really cool and also just like inspiring to hear that you have so much going on and that you have this excitement for life in a way.
No, I appreciate it, for real. And that's why I went back to one of my biggest regrets, because when it came to the National Geographic, like I didn't hold on to that energy.
Yeah.
And I didn't hold on to that passion. And it's not too late, like you said, but I think because I didn't do that is a lot of the reason why I try to hold on as much as I can to these things.
Yeah.
And I've always been a big believer in like, try all you can, learn as much as you can, and then over time I'm gonna get that message internally as like, this is what you should do.
Right.
I don't know if I don't think I have that message yet right now. So until then, I'm gonna keep putting as much energy I can into everything until it figures itself out. But I have faith that it will. People always ask me like, because my younger brother wants to be a lawyer. You know how that path goes.
Yeah.
My older brother wants to be an athletic director. Congratulations to him. He actually just got his first full-time job. That path is also a little laid out. You don't know how you'll do it, but, and then there's me, I'm like, fuck. I don't know. It's gonna work out somehow, but I couldn't tell you today how.
Well, and yeah, but even as somebody who's inherently known what she's wanted to do her whole life, like every day is a new thing where I'm like, oh, this really cool thing is also a thing that I could do. And, you know, like,
yeah,
maybe the message doesn't come. Maybe you know what you like to do, and like, obviously I love to have a camera wherever I am. But at the same time, like, I also love working in nature, and that doesn't necessarily mean with a camera. And like, maybe one day I'll be more called to that, but for now I know that it's this, and like, it's hard not to worry about that, or like not to think what will happen, but yeah, trying everything. And I don't know. I feel like at the end of the day, like, the more stories you have of like what you did try and what you didn't try, like,
for real, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simply put.
That's beautifully put. A lot of the times I feel the best things are simple, because that's how most people can get it, me included. I need simplicity to understand some things.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Okay, you briefly said that you studied abroad in Auckland, New Zealand?
Yes, I studied abroad in Auckland for 5 months.
How was that experience?
I like to think of my life as like a pre-New Zealand and a post-New Zealand. If that doesn't describe it enough, it changed my life. I met some incredible people from all over, because people love to study abroad there, and how lucky I was to go. And I met some of the most nature-loving people in the world, specifically like the Pacific Islanders in New Zealand, like the Māori people really showed me what it means to connect with nature, and love your country and love the place and the land that you live in, and how you can spiritually be connected to it. And yeah, I think that going somewhere so far gave me the space to explore who I am and look at it a little differently, kind of be revealed to not only New Zealand cultures, but cultures from all over.
Yeah.
I could go on and on and on and on. So.
Well, how do you, because that interests me, like, you said the Maori people showed you how to connect with nature.
Yeah.
And your country, like, how did they?
Yeah.
Or how do you do that?
Well, for me, like, what I learned from them is, first of all, a bunch of, like, Maori teachings. There's a bunch of different places in New Zealand that are very spiritual in themselves. Like, Cape Ranga is their furthest north point to our map, but the way that Maori look at it, it's the furthest south point, just the way that the country is, like, laid out. And that's where, like, when Maori pass away, like, their souls will go and leap off this one tree that has been there and has not withered or fallen or anything, even though it's in a unideal place. It's the only tree there, or the only tree of that kind in that one spot. And that's the place that, like, the souls will go and leap into the ocean and start the next life.
It's like some Avatar shit.
Right. It's really fascinating. Or, like, you know, hearing that specific leaves are better to use as tea steeping if they have more holes because the bugs around them are eating more of, or like, I know this sounds silly, but like, if the bugs are eating more of that leaf, it's probably the best one to steep your tea with. Like, little things like that.
I don't
and
think
just
that's
being
crazy.
attentive, you know?
I don't think that's crazy at all.
Or like the stories of the silver fern, which is an iconic symbol in New Zealand, but like how the moonlight would reflect off of the bottom of the leaf somehow, and you know, that would be the guiding light for a lot of people to get home in the past. So like, just little things like that stick out the most, I guess.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, I want to go to New Zealand. I haven't even been, that's Oceania, right?
Yeah, Oceania.
Yeah, there. Australia. Well, I want to go to New Zealand before Australia. New Zealand before probably anywhere in that region. But my one of my favorite professors, shout out Carl Voigt. He's from New Zealand.
Awesome. We'd get along.
And he would tell me stories all the time. He actually, you know what? No. On our last day of class, he just roasted me for no reason, basically.
Oh,
he was how was it? I don't even know why I'm saying this, but whatever. He when he graduated school, he went to the Solomon Islands to go be like their national basketball coach. And he was like, I don't know, I think 21, 22, I forget. But he would always tell stories in class. Like, that's what the class was, just him telling stories and then translating that into business case studies somehow.
Yeah.
But just randomly, he was like, oh yeah, I did this. I went to the Solomon Islands when I was blah, blah, blah. That was the first job I ever had. He was like, yeah, I was coaching the team. They were all very short. They were like Kai's height. And then just the whole class laughed.
Was it necessary?
No. It was just like an unnecessary.
Let's stand up. No, I'm kidding.
But yeah, he's one of my favorite professors. He's from there. I've heard good things. I want to go. It's very beautiful. Well, how's the food?
I will say the food is like the one thing that I'm not.
Even the seafood?
Well, you're asking somebody who doesn't love seafood.
Oh.
So that is unfortunate. I would probably go back and try it now.
Okay. You like seafood after you've been in LA? Or like a little bit more?
After I went to Japan, and after I tried fish fresh in Armenia.
Japan will do it.
Actually.
Japan will do it to you.
Japan did do it. I did try sushi for the first time in Japan.
First time?
First time ever in my life.
Have you had ceviche?
No.
I gotta take you to Hodges. Have you heard of Hodges?
No.
It's
Where is
down
that?
the street from the USC business building.
Oh, okay.
It's in a Mercado, like Grand Central Market?
Yeah.
It's like a smaller Mexican Spanish version of that.
Right by USC?
Literally, like
you know what? I think I've been in there.
Yeah.
For something.
But they have, to me, like the best Mexican seafood I've had. It's crazy. They have a Michelin star now, but they were literally ranked like the best restaurant in the country last year. I wouldn't say. I mean, for seafood, this might be the best seafood spot I've been to in the country. So I mean, yeah, it's very valid, but you should definitely try it. It's so good. And he's from Mexico. That's his restaurant, but his parents own the one that's like across the hall.
Oh.
And that one's more traditional, I think, like Oaxacan quesadillas, tacos, and stuff. But it's definitely
so
try it
good.
out.
I want a
definitely try the
burrito
ceviche.
so bad right now. Oh my god.
Have you been to Brothers Cousins? I've talked about it like probably 5 times in this
I don't think I
series.
have been, but I
To
think
me,
you've
they're
told
the best burrito in the city by far.
I'll be the judge of that.
Go ahead. I've had a lot of people who say, man, and well, do you like al pastor?
Yeah.
That's all I need to hear. Yeah, you'll
Okay.
love it. So
I usually go with carne asada, but I will try it with al pastor.
try it there. I do too, most places, because they don't do the al pastor how they do here. But here, it's the best thing.
Okay.
Yeah, hold me to it. It's fine.
Okay. we'll give it a go.
But okay, so we're starting to wrap up. I asked this same question to everybody, but I interchanged like the actual one word in it for some people. Like for artists,
Okay.
I'll say music. For you, I'll say film.
Yeah.
But how do you think film connects us across cultures? I don't know if film is the word, but
Yeah.
yeah, like how do you think film connects us across cultures no matter where we're from?
Yeah. Well, okay, on the topic of New Zealand, like I'll use a subtle example, but like when I was there, it was fascinating to hear that people in New Zealand did like American accents because they had grown up with it. And that's not what my answer is, but that just like, let's just plant the seed there. You know, like media has such an influence on people in ways that you don't even realize. And like people can understand American accents pretty easily because they're always hearing them. Whereas like some people have a harder time understanding different accents, speaking English, I guess. So that's just like a minor version of it, you know, exposure. Yeah. Exposure is ultimately it. But I think what I have learned to be true in the last year for me and why I love film is because I feel like I can connect to people or show people how I see the world and think about the world by capturing it visually, and the ability to add emotion with even like the sound of the trees right now. Like this is a gentle, soft thing, but you could hear wind and you could hear something that's so aggressive and violent.
Yeah.
You know, depending on if it's like a storm or something, and like those are universal sounds that don't require a language and universal visuals that don't require any explanation. I think really can connect people that way.
For
and
sure.
for me, it makes me feel understood when I can show people like this is how I view the world. And whether or not they see it exactly the same, it's like the closest I'm ever gonna get to like showing you the inside of my brain is here.
For sure.
And I think that if I have a language barrier with someone, or if I, don't quite understand the cultural impact of certain things, like people who also make films across the world, like me watching their films or anybody watching their films can start to feel that too.
Yeah.
I hope that kind of makes sense. I could talk about it way longer too.
No, for sure. I feel like before I started Foreign Narratives, I was like, I'm not a creative person. Like in my head, I would tell myself that. And then from then until now, like I give myself credit for being creative, and I've really come to appreciate. I also read, what's the book called? The Creative Act by Rick Rubin, I forget. And it helped me understand like creativity on a different level.
Yeah.
But film is a unique, I mean, they're all unique in their own way, but film is a great way to show your creativity. And you saying like how it gives you the opportunity to share your headspace or the way you view it. I feel like that's beautiful. That, yeah, that's an amazing way to do it. And I feel like that's one of the hardest ways to do it.
Yeah.
But I actually, yesterday again, when I was having that conversation, was with these two people I met. They were influencers, whatever, but they were telling how they creatively like show something. And the other person in the conversation, he was saying like how much respect he has for them because of like when you make something creative, as soon as you put it out there, it's getting critiqued by everybody.
Right.
So like it takes a lot to be creative, but also just have the confidence to put it out there and really be like, this is what it is. This is my view. No matter what people think, but
Well, and that's a good point, because the vulnerability aspect of it, I think, is ultimately what chokes up a lot of artists. It's definitely caused burnout within me. If you are self-critical in any way, shape, or form, and the more time you spend in a creative space, the more critical you become, because you're getting so much input, especially in a day of like social media. But it really is a testament when people can like persevere through it, and maybe they're not exactly hitting the nail on the head of what exactly they wanted to say, but like they're figuring it out. And I know that I have a lot more respect and excitement for people that are trying than the ones that aren't willing to be vulnerable at all.
Yeah. I feel like one of the biggest endeavors that I could think of is, trying to creatively show something that's up in here.
Yeah.
Because if it's in your head, there's no need to explain it out loud, whether that's music or film or, but then when you actively try to put it out, that's a journey. Like, that's an endeavor that's hard to do.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I think there's an irony to it. Like, people don't, not to say that it's always this simple, but like, why is it so hard to create what's in your mind? And I think that there's a mistranslation between like us as individuals and communicating to other people. And I think, again, that's why like communicating fascinates me, and communication within people fascinates me. And like, how far will people go to try and understand each other, and how far will people go to try and felt understood? I think at the end of the day.
Damn.
And why also, but that's a whole other next episode.
Yeah, we could be here forever. Yeah. No, but that was a good answer. Okay, last question. I always forget. I got to do a random question.
Okay.
Fuck.
I'm ready. I'm on the edge of my seat.
I never think of these.
I'm ready.
I'm not. I'm not ready.
No,
take
your time. Take your time. Random question for you, while you think.
Maybe that'll.
What's something that has like brought you the most joy within the last 24 hours? It can be simple, it can be complex.
This.
Okay.
No,
Other than that, no.
Genuinely this, because like this is like recharging a fulfillment battery for me. Like I said, it's like a passion project for me. So when I do these, it reminds me why I love doing them. And I haven't done one since before South Korea. It's like almost a month now.
Wow.
Over a month. So, and I have a few more lined up. But like, doing this reminds me why I do it. Like, I just love being able to do this with you, with other people. But I'll give a different answer.
No, that's awesome. That is really cool.
24 hours.
Starting at 11 a.m. So you have since 11 a.m. yesterday. Since we got here at 11.
The other conversation I had with those people at work, I don't know, and it's funny because I'm not an extroverted person at all. But when I get to talk to people and really learn about them or what they do, like at first I was at work, they were coming in, they're always coming in and laughing and loud, so I was just joking with them.
Yeah. They
go on do their thing, they come back out and they ask me my name, we talk a little bit more, but then it gets deeper on like what they do, what we do, what I do. And then I just really like got to know these people very quick. I mean, not really get to know them, but I get to know a little bit about them and their life and how they think. And I'm like, damn, that's a whole person that has like this whole set of beliefs and this is how they view the world. And I would not have known that if I didn't talk to them. Because I had these, not that I had these assumptions at all, but I just, it wasn't on my mind. Like, I'm like, oh, there goes another person. But
I have a follow-up question to that. Let me ask you this. Do you feel like, obviously like you're learning the stories of other people, but do you feel like you're also learning things about yourself through those conversations? And if so, like, is there anything specifically from yesterday's conversation that you took away that you're like, yeah, you know what? I didn't think about it this way until I had this conversation with this person.
Yeah. for that conversation, it was a little bit like, to me, I read it as a sign that I got to keep doing what I'm doing. As like, me and this one girl had very similar beliefs on like how the world works and our spirituality, and I've been slipping on a few practices I do to like stay in tune with myself and my frequency, whatever you want to call it. So for me, I was like, I got to get back on it.
Yeah.
But can you say the question one more time?
Basically, I'm just asking if these conversations are
what I learned about
insightful
myself.
to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Damn. I always look at it as like, what can I learn from them? I'm not really as in like, what am I learning about myself that's like already there?
Sometimes I know it's retrospective too. Like, it's not always an immediate, I'm not going into this conversation seeking this. However, I did walk away thinking this thing.
Well, I guess like I said earlier, like I've learned that I'm more creative than I gave myself credit for. I'm not as introverted as I thought. Those things, but like I gotta think about that on a deeper level to maybe have a better answer, but
just food for thought. Just wondering.
Okay, well, damn, here's a question. If you wanted to get to know someone, so yeah, this is maybe my favorite random question I thought of, but it's because you came to me with those two questions. If you had to ask someone a question to really get to know them, one question, what would you ask?
Oh, okay, gosh. Good God.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm gonna use this question on the next person, so it's
okay, all right. That's a lot of pressure.
Sorry. Maybe I should do that for each one and just roll over.
That's kind of funny, yeah.
But go ahead.
You're gonna have to give me like a second to think on this, because I'm gonna start spitballing, but I need to like come to a conclusion.
Think about it. If there's a silence, I'll try to fill it with talk to the camera.
To really get to know them.
Yeah, and I don't mean like, well, yeah.
Like I've
like
never met them, or I have met them, because I feel like I might ask a friend of a friend a different question that I'm gonna ask a complete stranger, you know. But maybe that's not true.
I mean, most of the time you wouldn't go up to a complete stranger and just ask them the most deep question.
Hey,
so,
you never know. Get a little wine. No, I'm kidding. Kind of.
Not kidding.
I'm not kidding.
But okay, so someone that you feel comfortable with asking that question. Is that
okay? Yeah.
So I guess that clears up the situation. But
I feel like I've done this a lot recently, where I've just kind of like thrown deep questions at people. I
need to do that more outside of these spaces. I don't feel like I do it enough outside of when the camera's on, unless if I'm close with someone.
It's what I will say is it's been eye-opening at how many people will open up so quickly, but also how they'll open up and then they'll take steps back.
Yeah.
How long do I have to figure it out?
No, it's the car meter, but we're good.
Okay.
The car meter is 5 minutes.
Oh yeah, okay,
So,
we'll figure it out.
No, you're good.
I don't want to be vague and like ask them a question that's like, you know, what you're passionate about, because I feel like I've heard people say they're passionate about something, but like, for example, I've heard so many people say, I'm passionate about telling stories that will make a change. What does that mean?
Yeah.
Why does that mean? Like, I'm kind of at a point now where I'm like, I'm beyond that personally. And some people, like, I wasn't when I was 18, I was figuring it out, but I think it would be, it's gonna have to be like related to death, I think. I think it would have to be something along the lines of like, maybe it would be as simple as like, okay, what's something that brought you joy in the last 24 hours? Because I think
that's not crazy.
Kind of something that you said was the simple things in life, and you can learn a lot about somebody if they appreciate the simple things or not.
Yeah.
It might be that question. I might, you know, if I know them in a way, like I think I would ask a question like that. But if I don't know them that well, it might be something a little more like, I don't know. When was, like, this is so hard, Kai.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Like, I would want to ask them so many questions and spin off of questions. Maybe, like, I could ask them the most influential person of their life, and then that would be, like, why. I could ask them, you know, what memory comes to mind when I ask you, what's the happiest memory of your life? 3, 2, 1, which is kind of like, they have to spitball it really fast, but, like, what's their quick response, or, like...
I'm gonna have her do the next episode. She got some good ideas.
Okay, great.
Go ahead.
Or, like, you know what? Maybe it would be the communication thing. It's like, if I was trying to get to know you, like, what would you show me, or what would you take me to, or what song would you play, or whatever that you feel like in this moment currently represents who you are?
That's a good one. I like that.
So maybe something like that. It's such a hard question.
You just gave 20, but it's okay.
I'm so curious. I have so many questions. I don't know.
I'm gonna put in the next episode, Holly's question, and like because I bookmark the segment of the videos, and I like title it. I'm gonna put Holly's question.
Okay.
This is 16, so for 17, which I think I'm filming next week.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
If I come up with something like a little more specific, I'll let you know. Okay. But until then, I'm gonna be brainstorming.
But again, like sometimes, I don't know if it's being vague, but like I really do believe, at least for me, when I simplify things or go back to the fundamentals, that's when I learn best. Or like, and a lot of times I feel like that's when things get understood best. Like if you try to add too much complexity to things, you lose the core meaning.
True.
I feel like that could be in nature and in academics and sports, in music when you're making music, and film when you're adding all these different edits and effects. Like sometimes I feel like it's keeping it simple sometimes. That's why I try to edit a little bit less, just for me. Again, it's personal preference. There's obviously time and place where you have to add a lot to things to make it work. But for me, that's what works for me. But yeah, so let me check this real quick before I ask the last question.
Okay. I also just thought about like even just asking like who understands you the most in your life, I think is an interesting question, because however people answer that, like, you know, usually it's like family or siblings, but maybe it's like partners, maybe it's friends. Yeah. Or, you know, like specific elements. Like I feel like we have an understanding of each other in some ways, but then we haven't like had understandings of in other ways, and we haven't like taken the time to learn that.
And we really we haven't known each other for long. Like we've spent a lot of time together for a month, and then I've seen you twice since.
I know.
So it's
in my head, I know you better than we'll hang out.
But yeah, we'll go to ceviche spot. Yeah. Some other things.
Fish.
But yeah, that's a whole different thing on why, because I do feel like you can. This connection with people, like when you're just on the same page sometimes, and even like I haven't known you for so long, but we can connect on a lot of things off rip. Or some people have just a timer. It's okay. Okay.
I think we'll be okay for like 3 seconds, unless we want to sprint.
No, we're good. Just last question.
Yeah, I'm not sweating it. I'm really not sweating it.
If they have someone, I'm gonna just go. Okay, last question. Yeah. At the end of the day, what impact do you want your narrative to carry?
Okay, I have the answer. I'm just thinking of how to say it.
No worries.
I hope that at the end of the day, you know, like I genuinely have had a lot of self-growth over the last year, over the last like 23 years, quite frankly. But specifically this year, I hope that my narrative can, how do I word this? I've noticed that when I've been hurt, when other people have been hurt, you know, there is an easy decision to be made, or a hard decision to be made, where you'll make poor choices or you'll do things that are out of character. And I hope that my narrative just carries not judging people, maybe, you know, being mindful of like, hey, what happened wasn't cool, or what you did was very, you know, out of character. But like, I hope that I can hold space for people, and people can hold space for me, because we all are human, and we all do have choices that we make that aren't right as we figure out and navigate and, you know, learn and overcome things. Maybe it's traumas that you haven't gone through, like process or whatever. I just hope at the end of the day that my narrative allows people a space to feel like I am still welcome as a human being regardless, and I have a space to grow. And, you know, of course that has its limits.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like if you're going to murder someone, it's going to be a different conversation. But I just mean like,
yeah,
people make mistakes, and I hope that inherently, especially if you know a person is a good person, like, I just like need to think of the right way to word this, but like.
I will say, from my point of view, just hearing you say that, it reminded me of, again, back to our program. There's a few conversations on the program where it was like things got heated between people. And I feel like, I mean, everyone had their, I stayed back most of the time, like just listening, but a lot of people had their opinions. You for sure had yours too. But
yeah,
like,
I do have my opinions.
I feel like you were with your opinion, which was valid and stern for sure. I feel like you also, for sure,
I'm trying to like remember which conversation you're talking about.
But you always found a way to like bring it back to like an understanding moment. I feel like where like you're like, you don't agree, but you understand, or like you're at least trying to bring that understanding, that empathy, kind of.
Yeah.
And that was over a year ago, and you said over the year you've gotten better. So I can only imagine how much better you've got at that. But I think that's a powerful thing, especially in today's day and age. So
it's one of those things where it's like, I am not perfect at it, obviously, but like I've met a lot of people this year, and I've gone through enough things this year where it's like, yeah, I've made mistakes. People I know have made mistakes, but like, I don't think that these people are necessarily less for it. It's how you move forward with it. And I hope that my space and like my friendship and just being around me can provide a space that you're welcome to grow, and that I can hopefully become more of a person who's open to having that space and not, you know, so focus, like I need to focus on my own growth for sure, but I hope I can help foster other people's at the same time. And I hope I keep finding people who will do the same for me, because I know I need it, and I know everyone does.
You could definitely do both at the same time.
Yeah.
But that's good.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming here on this lovely Thursday.
Yeah.
So,
well, thank you for coming. This spot is very sacred to me.
I'll make sure that I don't use this spot again. It's your spot. But
I mean, you can.
This is one of my favorite ones. I didn't even know this was here, because every time I walk up these stairs, I go that way.
That's
I've never
crazy.
walked this way.
Yeah, no, I have processed many things here. I come here when I'm feeling the greatest. I come here when I'm feeling the lowest. And I've made a film here. It's a cool spot. It's definitely been like a good center point, and it's nice to look at everything, in my opinion, from far away, because even though it's right there and it's, you know, a drive away or like 15 minutes up the stairs, like,
this is like,
you still feel like you get a breath for a second.
This is like physically going out that bubble and like really seeing it all. Like, for me, I do that all the time, but for me it's at LMU, it's at the Bluff. My 15th episode is going to be at exactly the spot where I do that.
Oh, cool.
But it's cool that this is that for you, because if I saw this could be, well, I'd stay there. But just because, unfortunately, the camera died right at the end.
It would just...
so this is the goodbye. Thank you.
I'm going to do it again before you say thank you.
All right.
Everybody just, first of all, it's been cool to listen to all of y'all's stories. Thanks for listening to mine. Everybody, shout out Kai. Pretty cool, the community that you have and have built. I am saying this again, so he's acting all cool about it or whatever. But earlier he was like, okay.
I didn't know this was coming. Well, I did this time.
Yeah, you did know it was coming. But thank you, for real, it's cool. And also, repping the merch, always.
Facts. Go shop. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're going to make sure we don't have any tickets on the windshield. Adios.
I can't do it. Wait. Let me do a proper one.
Go ahead.
Bye.
Yeah, I can't do that.